Hi there Star Wars collectors, welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video and welcome to episode 17 of Ask Bossk's Bounty. This is the weekly series that drops every Sunday. Apologies it didn't drop last Sunday, but as many of you will probably know, I was at New York Toy Fair, which was fantastic, which I'll just come on to in a minute. But if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, and if you want your question answered next week, don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section below of this video, and then we can get back to normal and we can answer some questions next week. I do have a few questions to answer in this video, so stay tuned for that. But moving on to New York Toy Fair, so I had an amazing time. I went out there on my own. It's the first time I've ever been to anything like this. I also went to the Hasbro Brand Preview Event thing, which was awesome. I understand that was live streamed on the Hasbro Pulse Facebook page as well, so you probably saw some of that. But it was amazing being in the crowd of press people, if you like, I guess, sitting there watching it live. It was truly a really good experience. And then obviously straight after the presentation, they take you down to the showroom where you can take photographs of all of the new stuff that they revealed and some of their other stuff that we already know about. Now, it was a little bit of a letdown in terms of what they did reveal. So obviously we only got 2 vintage collection figures revealed. We got the Gonk droid and we got the Luke Jedi Knight, the proper figure from the 3-pack on that correct card back, which is awesome. I've been waiting for that one for a while. That's really nice that they're finally getting that correct. Also, we got a look at the 6-inch snow speeder, which is fantastic. So I think I had a question in one of these videos a while back, somebody asking me if they would make vehicles for the 6-inch, and I didn't think that they would. Snow speeder's a bit different, I suppose, because the scale that they can do there, it doesn't have to be huge, but I don't think it's exactly to scale with, say, the TIE Fighter that they brought out. You know, the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter that was absolutely massive. I don't think it's really in scale with that particularly. They may have scaled it down. However, it does fit 2 6-inch figures, which is pretty awesome. And I will definitely be picking one of those up and reviewing it for you guys. So I can't wait for that to come out. And of course, what was also revealed was the re-release of the Slave 1, which I don't want to say I told you guys so, but I did kind of rumour that was going to happen. I've known about that one for quite a long time. A few people over on one of the Facebook groups didn't believe me, and one guy was actually calling me fake news and a fake profile and things like that. So shout out to you, Guy. Thank you very much. You know, such a lovely chap. But there you go. At the event, what was it? Oh, it's the Slave 1. Sorry, I don't want to seem too smarty pants about that, but you know, I did get a bit of stick in that Facebook group, so it's nice that that rumour's come true. Now, before we get on to this week's questions, I do want to just show you a little bit of footage from the showroom of the Hasbro Brand Preview Event. This is some video footage that I captured where JediNews.co.uk were interviewing Patrick. He's like the head marketing guy of the Hasbro Star Wars line. And I managed to capture some of that on video, so shout out to JediNews.co.uk for interviewing Patrick and also letting me video it as well. So let's roll that.
As it continues, and we're going to try to get to more from Rise of Skywalker in future years.
Awesome. Okay. Clone Wars back on our screen.
Yes, as of yesterday, right?
As of yesterday.
Absolutely.
And people are asking when we're going to see more Clone Wars figures coming from Hasbro.
Like I said, it's a good problem to have, and the problem keeps getting better or worse depending on your perspective. So, I think we've said in the past, like, we're definitely going to do more Clone Wars. So you will definitely see more from Clone Wars. Again, today was kind of all about Empire Strikes Back, but stick with us. I guarantee you will see some Clone Wars figures later this year.
Last time you did the anniversary collection, you gave us a base and like a backdrop for those figures. Are we going to get something similar for the Empire Strikes Back?
So there aren't any current plans to do that. Honestly, like we talked to fans about the 40th anniversary line in 2017, and we just saw how it did, and the carded assortment did fantastic. The base, honestly, it just seems like for the price, it wasn't really where we wanted it to be. So no current plans for a display stand, but if you have one and you want to print out some, Empire Strikes Back themed art for it, then that would be great.
Awesome. In terms of vintage collection, we only got 2 figure reveals today.
That's correct.
So why only 2?
So it's a good question. Yeah, good question. Yeah. We love Black Series. We love the Vintage Collection. They're both staples of the line. We were able to get a couple reveals out that we really love for the Vintage Collection. And it's just kind of, the places where they are in our line. So there will definitely be more Vintage Collection items coming out later this year. Some Empire stuff for sure. And then, of course, last month, for example, in January, there weren't any Black Series reveals, but we obviously revealed the Imperial Troop Transport. So it's kind of, it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of the retro collection, people are loving the retro collection.
Absolutely.
And the Empire figures look amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any plans to do more frequent retro collection figures? So maybe like 2 waves a year?
It's a good question. It might be something that we explore. Right now, it's tough because, again, there's a lot of entertainment properties that we love. We love the Black Series. We love Vintage. We love premium roleplay. There's been a great reaction to retro. So it's balancing all of those things and doing enough of each. Right now, we just have 1 wave to announce, but we're hoping that it continues in the future. So if you like the retro collection, go out and buy those Empire Strikes Back figures, and if we sell enough of them, we'll do more in the future.
Absolutely. And our final question is, if you had to pick one product based on the child from your range, which one would it be?
Based on the child? Oh, well, I'm the lead for our fan business, so absolutely the Black Series 6-inch version of the child. That's my favorite, but the animatronic one that we revealed yesterday is pretty amazing. It's here in the booth. Like we said in the presentation, it coos, it giggles, the ears are great. So even though close to my heart is the 6-inch scale version, it's pretty hard to beat that animatronic edition of the child.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. Looking forward to talking in the future.
So there you go then, guys. That was Patrick being interviewed there by Jedi News. Some interesting stuff to come out. Obviously, they are a bit cagey with their answers in terms about what is coming up and what they're going to release, but I think it's a bright future for the 6-inch line and for the Vintage Collection. I can see at least 30 figures coming out this year. We've already got some rumours that Amazon actually broke with the 2 waves coming out towards the end of the year. I did a whole video about that, so I'll just put a link to that now and also in the description below, so you can go back and watch that video if you haven't already. But that is some figures that are going to be coming out with that Power Droid and with the Jedi Luke in those 2 waves. So interesting figures, some really, really good solid figures in that one in my opinion. So check out that video after this one. Also at the end of this video, I'm going to be just going through some of my images that I took while I was at the Hasbro Brand Preview Event and Toy Fair in general. So if you're interested in seeing some of the cool stuff that I saw on display whilst I was there, be sure to stick around to the end of the video and there'll be a little bit of montage of the images there. And as I was leaving the Brand Preview Event at Hasbro, they did give me a swag bag, which was really, really nice of them. And inside was this Sith Trooper, the 6-inch Sith Trooper. There's also this Transformer. Now this one is actually from the new Netflix series, which I didn't actually know anything about, and I do love the Transformers. So apparently there's going to be a new Netflix series. It's a cartoony style, a bit like the Clone Wars type of animation, but it looks really, really good. And this is one of the characters from it. I do believe that these aren't even out yet. So as you can see there, Netflix. And this one is Chromia. She's an Autobot. Looks awesome. So yeah, so that was really, really cool. So obviously that was nice for them to give that out. Anyway, on to the first question of Asks Bossk's Bounty this week. HRH2108. Hi Harry, I know it's you. Keep up the great work, Bossk. You're smashing it. Thank you very much. What was your single favourite reveal from New York Toy Fair? Mine was the Black Series Snowspeeder with Dak Rauter. So yeah, I probably have to agree. That was a really, really great reveal. It's really nice to see it in the flesh, just sitting there. It is going to be a phenomenal vehicle. You're going to love it when it finally comes out. No doubt about that. So that is probably the one thing that stands out. But for me, that likes the Vintage Collection the most, I would have to say the Power Droid. I think they've got the sculpt of that fantastic. They've painted it blue, just like the original one. So to me, that was almost a perfect reveal. David Sutherland says, as a collector, when do you know it's time to sell what you have? So I really do hope that never happens to me personally. Obviously some people may get into financial difficulties and they feel they have to sell everything they've got. I know people personally that's happened to, and it's a bit of a shame, but that's life, I guess. But in terms of, if you haven't got any reason to sell it, why would you want to sell it? I mean, my collection, I hope, is going to be in my possession until my last days, as it were, and hopefully it'll be handed down, and then my son or daughter can decide what they want to do with it. They might want to sell it, they might want to continue the collection, who knows. But some of these things here, you know, they're going to be relics eventually, aren't they? And Star Wars collecting is a big community-based thing. It's something that I'm really involved in. It's something that I love, and I don't want to stop anytime soon. But I guess to answer your question, I don't actually know when you would know that it's time. I guess if you just lose interest, maybe, then sell it. Big Biscuit says, do you think they should make battle packs like the good old days? 100% yes, I hope they do, especially now the Clone Wars is back. I have been watching the Clone Wars, by the way. I've seen the first 2 episodes. It is fantastic. What a show that is. It's been greatly missed. Absolutely love it. But yeah, imagine them doing some battle packs for some clones again. I don't want them posed in different positions and stuff. They've got to be fully articulated figures and things like that. They've got to be movable. But of course, in the battle pack, if they want to present them in all different poses and stuff, I'm all for that. That's very cool. As long as the value's there and they're not overpriced, you know, the price per figure's got to be correct in those battle packs. And saying that, they could do special action figure packs for the Clone Wars. Maybe a 4-pack with the Bad Batch. Is there 4 of them or 5 of them? I can't remember. But the Bad Batch of clones, I'd love those in action figure form. They'd be absolutely awesome. But yeah, battle packs indeed. Yeah, come on Hasbro, let's bring those back. Robert Maravilla says, what Season 7 Clone Wars figures do you want the most, or your top 3? So I would have to say, on a vintage card, we definitely need Captain Rex. That is 100% we need Captain Rex. A better version, the Black Series version that came out. Not the 6-inch one, you know, the 3.75-inch Black Series one, where the helmet's a little bit small. So we need a proper Captain Rex, 100%. And then I think I'd like the other guys to go with him. I'd want Fives, and I would want Echo. So let's get those 3 guys. Not Echo in his current form, if you've seen it, because he's a bit beat up, but in his clone armour, if you know what I mean. Let's get those figures on vintage cards with proper card backs. They'll have to go back to the previous seasons of the Clone Wars, obviously, but it doesn't matter. Now the Clone Wars is back. The figures don't have to necessarily come from Season 7. They can come from previous seasons. So they're the 3 that I want. I want Rex, Fives, and Echo. Bill Polk says, I think we need the Armourer badly in 3.75. What do you think? I think you are absolutely right, Bill. We do need the Armourer. So we're going to... Obviously, we've got the Mandalorian. I think there's the promise of some more figures before the year is out. That we're probably going to get another Mandalorian wave somewhere. I don't know where they're going to fit that in, but I've heard rumours of another Mandalorian wave. And yeah, I think the Armourer is a definite sort of... She's going to be like a bit of a cult classic, I feel. One of those background characters. Not in every episode, if you know what I mean, but she is definitely one that I would love on a vintage card. I could just imagine the card back right now. There's plenty of images that they could use of her. So yeah, 100% with you there, Bill. Starvel Boy says, awesome video as always. Do you think we will get the Mandalorian updated armour with his jetpack or without it? So in answer to your question, I think that we will most definitely get the Mandalorian in his updated Beskar armour, you know, the full silver chrome armour. That is a given. I don't think they can not do that. He's going to be wearing it pretty much in the whole of Season 2. Whether we'll get it with a jetpack or without is another matter. I hope so. But it, you know, as long as it's like an optional add-on that you can take off and whatever. I just do not know. I don't know. I hope so. So then, guys, not so many questions this week because obviously last week's, or the week before's video rather, was mainly about myself going to Toy Fair. So please leave your questions in the comment section below for next week's video for me to answer. Let's keep this series going. And as I promised at the start of the video, here's some images of my time at Toy Fair and at the Hasbro Brand Preview Event in New York. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you on the next one.